Hi, it's Cory with the Cory Mayo team, and I help people just like you buy, build, or sell homes right here in Coastal Delaware. Now, today's video topic is about people that are looking to move to the area. What is the processes for our team, and what do we go through to help people just like you kind of sift through all the different communities and builders and resale or build, or all the different options that are available to you? What do we do that's a little bit different than you may find with other realtors around the area that's specific to our process? So without further ado, let's kind of dive into some of our high-level processes, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I want to start off and preface some of the common questions that I hear from clients that come down here that are looking to move to the area. One of the first big questions is, should I be considering buying a resale home or should I look at building a home? And both are great options. The biggest thing is that people want to get down here, take advantage of Delaware's low taxes, the laid back lifestyle, live by the beach, all of the good stuff, all the reasons why people want to be here. But which home should you be living in? Should it be a resale home or should it be a build home? Now, personally, I think that they're both great options, but it's very specific to each individual client. Some people need to be in a home right away, whether it's for family reasons, whether it's for a new job or whatever it may be. Maybe their home where they live is under contract and they don't have time to build a home. Resale is a great option for you. But the biggest thing when it comes to resale, and this is going to pertain both to resale and to new construction, is location. I say it all the time. You can have the perfect home. We find the exact home with everything that you're looking for, and it's in the wrong location. It's 35, 40 minutes inland, and you're looking to be as close to the beach as possible. That's going to be the wrong home. We haven't done our homework to kind of sift through and find homes that are really based around the guidelines of what you're looking for the life that you're looking to build here. So that is, number one, is we want to dive into the lifestyle and take that lifestyle that you're looking to build and start to narrow down to areas and communities. We have some kind of, I don't want to say proprietary, but questions that we have really drilled down over time and that really help our team sift through that. And we'd love to sit down and go through that process with you. But that's, we have some ways that we go through to help figure out, those different areas. And then from there, once we figure out, maybe it's, do we want to be in Lewes or do we want to be in Bethany? Do we want to be down in Fenwick? Should we be looking more towards Milton or Milford? And once we find out kind of the area, the town and area, the setting of the lifestyle, now we want to drill into looking at communities. Which communities are available? Is there still building that's going on there? What are the advantages and disadvantages of buying a resale home that's in a community that there's still current building going on? Is the community completely built out? And if so, what's available in there? Are the resale homes backing up to woods or ponds? And what is it that you're looking for? The thing that I always ask my clients is, what are you looking to smell, see, and hear in the morning when you have your cup of coffee or a cup of tea? So you're sitting out back. Do you envision yourself sitting on a screened-in porch, or are you sitting on a deck, or are you sitting on a courtyard? And what's surrounding you? Are you looking at a pond? Are you looking at an ocean? Are you looking at trees? And from there, we kind of start to work backwards. Ironically, why a lot of people move down here is for a lot of other reasons outside of just the home. So yes, you need somewhere to sleep, and you need somewhere to eat, and somewhere to have shelter, but it's for so many other reasons. It's for that laid back lifestyle. So when we're looking at the home, it's very important, but we have to make sure that we hit that lifestyle first before we start to dive into bedrooms, bathrooms, and price point even. So we want to make sure that we're focusing on that. The one thing that I do like to preface when people are looking at resale homes is, depending on the age of the home, there is a very high probability that the home that you're looking at legally would not be able to be replicated today based upon new code and new building standards that the county, state, or national government has put out as to how homes need to be built. So if you had a home that was built in 1980s and you love the character of it, you love the shape and everything, and that's great. But if we were to take that, say we found a piece of land and you went to a builder and said, I want to replicate this home on that piece of land, they legally could not build that home the way that it's built. So it's something to think about. when you're looking at a resale home, why is that? What have they changed? It's not always just maybe about structural integrity. Sometimes it's about energy efficiency. Sometimes it's about plumbing and electrical code that is safety related. So there's things that we need to look at when looking at resale and keep in the back of our head that things that you may want to change to maybe bring it more up to code. The other thing, and I find this is going to vary, but this is a big average. I find that a lot of clients spend anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 after they buy a home, making it theirs. So maybe changing flooring, whether it's there was carpet and they want to pull the carpet out and put down hardwood or LVP, or there's hardwood in there and they want LVP, or there's LVP and they want hardwood, or they just want a different color, or they want to paint the cabinets, or they want new countertops, or whatever it may be. Maybe there's no screen and porch, they want to put a screen and porch off the back. So there's all of these things because you're living in someone else's dream. So when someone built that home, that was their dream home that they thought that was going to be, the end-all be-all home, that it was exactly what they wanted, and that's great. But now it's all about your dream, and there may be different, bullet points that kind of hit for your dream versus theirs. So that's one of the disadvantages when looking at resale, is that, again, there's always going to be a level of compromise. Typically when we're looking at resale, the chances of finding a home that is exactly what you want, the exact square footage, the exact colors, the exact finishes, the exact location, the home site, direction, you find everything, but the back is facing west instead of east, and you really wanted eastwardly direction on the back of the home. There's all of these things. So the chances of finding it exactly the way that you want it in again, someone else's dream is probably going to be low. So we're probably going to have some level of compromise. And with that compromise is going to come changes later on. So just keep that in mind also. As we go over to the other end, resale, versus building. Building is a great option for a lot of people. A lot of clients that are coming down here have available time on their hands. And if you have available time, that means that you have the time to get your home ready to sell while your home is being built down here. And that gives us the ability to go through the process and pick what you want, where you want it, and how you want it. So that kind of eliminates that $25,000 to $50,000 of I now need to go into my resale home and make it my own. So that's a really good way of saving money, and it's something to think about when you're pricing out your build. Is should I be you need to consider that amount into the home that you're building, because you get to build it the exactly way that you want it. You don't have to add things later on. The other thing to think about is that sometimes you're picking everything out and you're going through the process. And when you're looking at building versus resale, obviously resale, the product is what it is. And you put an offer in, maybe you go low, maybe you go high, whatever it might be to get the deal. But when you're going with building, you get to pick pick the home site, pick the floor plan, pick the colors, fit, and finishes, and then have the home built the way that you want it to be, which is great. But sometimes as you start to go through that process, you have your wish list and the home starts to build and the price starts to build. And next thing you know, maybe you're starting to push your budget to the max. So that's when we want to go down and sit and look at this and say, what are things that make sense that maybe we could do later on? I have some great contractor friends that you could sit down and discuss things with also. There's certain things, I'm not going to give away everything now, but there are certain details that I think should be done later on and certain ones that shouldn't be, based upon warranties and whatnot. There's things that we need to think about as we go through that, thinking not just short term, but long term, what is going to give you the overall best experience of living in the home, and the easiest way of doing those things later on. So saving money now and then maybe adding or upgrading things later on. And we can definitely walk through all of that process. And real quick, before we go too much farther into this, I do want to bring up one quick point. I've been asking a lot of clients, kind of going through the process, what are questions or what were some maybe misconceptions that they have. And a lot of people tend to have this feeling that if they were to go to the builder without representation, without someone like myself or another agent who specializes in new construction to help them through the process, that they could probably negotiate a better deal. They can, get some extra money off or whatever. There are some builders that would do that. They tend to be either the really big national guys that they're just all about, spreadsheets and making as much money as possible, or they are maybe some smaller guys and they're trying to figure out ways to add some extra dollars in their pocket because they're only building a few homes per year. But in most cases, cases, speaking on averages, and you're going to hear me say a lot of times I speak on averages because everyone's circumstance is different. But on average, typically the good builders, it is the price is what the price is, whether you have representation or not. They don't want for one client to be next to another client, maybe sitting at the pool one day and somehow maybe they get talking about pricing, and next thing you know, they now find out that they got a better deal because they didn't have an agent or they didn't have someone representing them, and oh man, maybe we could have done this by ourselves. So in most cases, I'm actually gonna jump us to a video real quick to where a builder kind of explains it real quick. So let's hear what Josh has to say about that. I think sometimes people think that if I go in with representation that I can get a better deal if I don't have someone or whatever.
I do get this question. I don't have a realtor. Can I get a discount? No. No is the answer.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
So I think that Josh's point, it's a great way of looking at this from a builder's perspective. They understand the value that good agents bring to the table. A lot of people are relocating from outside of the area and they need someone to help. And if you're sitting there and you're driving around and you're just pulling into communities, you're trying to learn all of this in a matter of a couple of days. I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. And, it's, every day my job is to learn and educate myself and my team on what's new home sites, new communities, new building techniques, new builders, new areas, whatever it might be. So you're new to the area. How are you ever going to absorb all of that knowledge in just a short time period? I'm not saying that you're not educated enough or couldn't do it eventually, but it would take you, 8 to 10 years to be doing this in order to be at the same point, of that you would be where we are. So it's kind of like if you were going to build a house yourself and maybe you're handy and you want to learn how to do this, you're not going to go swing a hammer. You're going to hire someone that this is all that they do day in, day out. This is what we're here for. Call us. We're here to help out however we possibly can. Use our knowledge. Use us as a tool. And the good builders are very supportive of all of that. But anyway, with all that being said, kind of a shameless little plug there. I want to jump back into this. With builders, I have a little notes here, sorry. Builders, we're talking about location. I'll come back to that. So as we're starting to build and we're starting to look at, the first question is which builder should I be, looking at, which community? And, again, I like to kind of take a step back and really dive into the lifestyle. We do something here that's it's very unique to how our client experience is. That's actually why we built this office the way that it is for clients to come in here and go through this whole discovery process. And our discovery process is all about our clients and really diving into what their needs are. We don't just talk about bedrooms and bathrooms. It's so secondary to this whole process. We really want to look at what it is that you're looking for and then use our knowledge to help. It's kind of like a matchmaker. Use our knowledge of how we go out, and we're always learning more about this and listening, not just hearing, but listening to what you're saying, and then help sift through all of these communities, these builders and options that you have to help make this a much more concise experience. If you're driving down the road and you're just pulling in the communities, it's going to be a lot of time, a lot of frustration for you. So utilize our time and experience to help sift through and figure out, hey, today I think we have 3 solid communities that we should go look at, and let's go in there, because those communities also have floor plans are kind of what you're talking about that you're looking for. They have the available home site style that you're looking for. You're looking for a basement or a crawl space. You're looking for a pond view or a wood view. We need to know all that ahead of time before we go to a community and find, if you're looking for a pond view, for example, and they have no pond view lots, why do we even pull into the community? It's a big waste of time. So we know all of that, and we want to try to help, expedite the process for you to get you in front of things so that we can start to educate you. Our process is based around educating our client so that they can make the most educated decision possible. A lot of our clients, they get to the point that they can think about moving to the beach because they're intelligent people and they make good decisions in their life, and we're here to help support that. But again, use our knowledge to help educate you, and not put information in front of you that's useless. That's just, that's a big waste of time. So, but when you're looking at builders, there's something to think about. A lot of people ask about which builder should I be going with. There's 4 main categories of builders. We're looking at national production builders, regional production builders, semi-custom builders, and then full custom builders. National builders, that's going to be your D.R. Horton, your Ryan, your K. Hovnanian. These are builders that build homes all over the country. They tend to use typically they tend to use very similar building techniques in the same home, whether it's built on the East Coast or the West Coast. There may be some variations in cosmetics and whatnot, but they tend to be built the same. They all have their advantages and disadvantages, and if we had sit down and do one of our discovery meeting, we can really dive into different builders, what their techniques are, and does that align with what you're looking for. But they tend to have a different style look to them. Everyone, they are great for some people and maybe not for others. If you're looking for a more custom look and feel in it, maybe you don't want palette selections. And what I mean by that is, if you go into a builder and they say, okay, here's 4 or 5 different palettes, and the palettes are going to be this color flooring, this color backsplash, this color cabinets and countertops. You pick the one of 4, and then that's it. Some people, they want to kind of go through and make it really their own. That's when we go from more of a national builder, and then we start to go into regional builders. And this all has to do with scalability. This is, because they're smaller, they have the ability. Think of a big ship. It's hard to steer that ship, and when you're building homes all over the country, it's a big giant ship. So as we get to a smaller ship, something that's where you're just building in Coastal Delaware or maybe a couple different areas, they can steer the ship quicker. So they have the ability of offering more options. So a lot of regional builders, you can now start to get into picking which style floor in each room that you want. Maybe you decide that you want literally one bedroom has this species of wood and this other bedroom has that species of wood. Cool, not a problem. Or you want carpet up here and hardwood here, LVP over there. You have the ability, you can go through that. Some of the builders even get drilled down to the ability of maybe choosing which color knobs that you want in every single room, painting islands and main cabinets different colors to make that production build feel more custom. When we talk about production, whether it's national or regional, the premise I tell people, and if you've ever sat down in one of my discovery meetings, you'll hear me talk about it. It's like predetermined Lego blocks. So you can, if we're talking about a deck, maybe they put 3 different Lego blocks in front of you. You pick which one that you want. You can't change the size of it, but you can change the color of it. So that's kind of the idea when we're dealing with production builders. You pick your floor plan, and there's a bunch of different options. Which kitchen do you want? Here you go. Here's 3 different kitchens. Pick which one you want. But you don't go through and start to change the shape and size. That's when we start to get into semi-custom home builders, and then full custom. Semi-custom builders, they're going to start on the premise of a production builder. So they're going to start off with, here's a floor plan. And if you would like to maybe move a wall, we can move a wall. Oh, you want to put a porch off the back of it or off the side of it? We can see how much that costs. Then when you get into full custom, that's just literally, here's a blank canvas, a blank piece of paper. We're going to start drawing this house out. We're going to work with architects. We're going to have to run everything through, through the county for permitting and for approval, and make sure that, for plumbing, HVAC, the whole 9 yards. And that's a great option for someone if you have a bunch of time and a bunch of money. The production side takes out a lot of that analysis paralysis, and also they have the economies of scale, so it helps keep the cost down. So then we're trying to always find kind of the balance between full custom and then full production. And that's where typically the regional builders tend to maybe have a little better, higher level of build quality, more customizability to the home to make it feel like yours. But when we get into regional, sometimes some builders aren't big enough that they get invited to participate in some of the bigger projects by the bigger communities with the grander amenities or more offerings. So that's kind of this balance. And this is where when we sit down, and this is where people will start to get confused and are like, I just don't know which direction to go. And please don't allow that stress to overwhelm you. That's what we're here for. So when you're starting to go through this process and we start to dive through it, we've already asked a bunch of questions, so we know which way to start to introduce you to potential builders and or communities. So that's a big part of the process. So again, sorry, I know this is a long-winded video and I kind of went on for a while and I maybe talked about a bunch of stuff, but I just kind of want to give a teaser or a taster, whatever you want to call it, of the process that we here at the Cory Mayo team, that we take our clients through. You come in, you sit down in this beautiful conference room. We have a big TV here on the wall, and we're going to start pulling up Google Maps, and not only are we going to start going over areas and lifestyles, but where do you dine? How do you drive on the beach? Where do you get hot dogs? And where's the best place for a margarita, or where do you get Mexican food, and where do you park in season, where do you park out of season? So as opposed to just driving around, which a lot of times you walk into an office, someone throws you in the car and you drive around, you're 4 feet off the ground, and that's all that you're seeing the whole time. We like to do this from a 30,000 foot view, and we can fly or drive, whatever you want to say, virtually using Google Maps, and then start to go through and get an idea on what makes sense towards that lifestyle. Chances are also you've probably watched my videos on YouTube and you've been watching some of these driving tours that I do. That is, again, an idea or a process of our overall process of trying to help bring Coastal Delaware to you in your living room. So that way when you come down here, you have a gauge, or you have an idea of some things that have kind of stuck out to you. I like the way this community looks, or I like this pool, I like the style of the homes, I like the whatever. So that is all going to be helpful information during our discussion or gathering time of gathering data to help start to collect all this. But please, again, we're here to help. Please utilize us. This is if you talk to builders, it is an expense that is typically covered by the builder. They are paying that on your behalf. So please call us at any point in time. You can give us a call or text at 302-466-5511. You can also email me directly at Cory, Cory, at coastallifede as in Delaware.com. And don't forget, I help people just like you buy, build, and sell homes right here in Coastal Delaware. I'm so excited for you to give me a call so that you can be one of my next clients out of the hundreds of clients that I've helped previously. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.